I am going to say something that will probably upset half the internet, but someone has to say it. What do I see around me? Men, successful men, handsome men, intelligent men, staying single for years, not months, years. And before you rush to type your outraged comment, let me ask you one question. When was the last time you saw a truly happy couple under 35? I mean truly happy, not like on Instagram. You cannot remember, can you? And there is a reason for that. We have created a world where solitude has become the rational choice for most men. Not the desired choice, the rational one. It is like choosing to walk rather than getting into a car that has a 70% chance of crashing. The calculation is brutal. Let me describe the situation. Imagine you are in a casino and there is this special table. To play, you must bet all your savings, your emotional stability, half your future income, and your mental health. The dealer tells you 70% of players lose everything, and of the few who win, half say it was not worth it. Would you sit at that table? Of course not. But that's exactly what romantic relationships have become for men. I had this conversation with my cousin last week. He is 34, earns well, works out, has everything going for him. He tells me he has not been on a date in 3 years. Every time I open a dating app, he says, I feel like applying for a job for which I am not qualified. The position requires 6'2" minimum, top 5% salary, property in 3 countries, the humor of a comedian, the body of an athlete, and the emotional availability of a therapist. Prior experience in telepathy would be a plus. And here's what nobody wants to admit. Women have priced themselves out of the market. It is like watching someone sell a 1995 Honda Civic at Ferrari prices because they changed the seat covers. They confuse their value with their demands, and when nobody buys, they blame the customers for being cheap. I remember at 22 meeting a girl at a cafe. She lived in shared housing, had barely $200 in her account. But her ideal man had to own his home, drive a luxury car, and have enough free time to entertain her constantly. I asked her, "What do you bring to match all of that?" She looked at me like I had asked her to solve quantum physics. "I am the prize," she said. "The prize for what?" And that was not an isolated case. That is the mentality I see everywhere now. Women who cannot cook demand personal chefs. Women who never exercise demand athletes. Women drowning in debt demand millionaires. This illusion has become so widespread it is now the norm. You know what happens when you create a game where there is only one winner? People stop playing. It is that simple. Men are not stupid. We are capable of doing a cost-benefit analysis. We see our friends divorcing, losing custody of their children, paying alimony to women who despise them. We see good men mocked online for not being enough. We see the videos, you know the ones, where women laugh about using men for free dinners they call food sessions. They have WhatsApp groups where they share strategies to extract maximum resources with minimum investment. And then those same women wonder where all the good men went. They went home. They are playing video games, building their careers, hanging out with their friends. At least there, effort is rewarded. If what you are hearing right now is landing somewhere real inside you, subscribe now to this channel and activate the bell so you never miss a video like this one. Because every episode on this channel is built to tell you the truths that nobody else dares to say out loud. A man today can work 60 hours a week, pay all the bills, fix everything that breaks, be an emotional support, remember every anniversary and plan romantic evenings. And what does he hear? That is the bare minimum. My grandfather provided for a family of 5 on a single salary, and my grandmother treated him like a king. Now you need to be a millionaire to receive a thank you. Here is an exercise. Open any social media and search men are trash. Count the millions of posts. Now search women are trash. See the difference. One gets likes and praise, the other gets banned and labeled misogynistic. We have normalized total disrespect toward an entire gender, and then wonder why that gender opts out. I recently coached a 28-year-old software developer, a good guy, earning $80,000 a year. He told me about his last date. He picked her up, paid the bill at a restaurant she had chosen, tried to have a conversation. She spent the entire meal on her phone posting stories about the food, tagging the restaurant, never once mentioning him. At the end, she said it was boring and left without even saying thank you. He spent $150 to be someone's content creation assistant. The same girl posted the next day, "Where have all the romantics gone?" She brought nothing to the conversation, showed zero interest, and then blamed him for being boring. Let me talk about housing because it is crucial. A woman living in a shared apartment, eating instant noodles, refusing a man because he does not own property. In major cities, maybe 5% of men under 35 own property. So 95% are automatically eliminated. And then women complain they cannot find anyone. I knew a girl, let us call her Anna. For 5 years, she turned down every man who approached her. Not tall enough, not rich enough, not interesting enough. She had an actual Excel spreadsheet with criteria: minimum height of 6 foot, minimum salary of $100,000, visited at least 10 countries, university degree, car worth $40,000 minimum. She was a receptionist earning $30,000 a year. Today at 35, she is revising her demands downward like a clearance sale. What was mandatory yesterday is optional today. But the men she wanted are dating 25-year-olds who never spent a decade treating men as disposable. Time is relentless. And let us talk about the independent woman myth sold to every generation. The truly independent women I know do not shout it on social media. Independent woman does not even appear in their bio. But women working low-skilled jobs, borrowing money to party on weekends, those are the ones screaming they do not need a man. It is like someone who cannot afford a car saying they prefer to walk. We all know it is just an excuse. I see this pattern constantly in my consultations. At 22, women say I need nobody. Men are a distraction. At 28, they say I am ready for something serious, but only if he meets all 47 points on my checklist. At 33, they wonder where all the good men went. At 38, they say I will date anyone who has a pulse and does not live with his mother. They could have met a good man at 25, but they were too busy finding themselves, which usually meant alcohol-soaked weekends they called self-care. But men have understood this pattern. Why would a successful 35-year-old man date a woman his age full of baggage when he could date a happy 25-year-old who is genuinely glad to be with him? That is not misogyny. That is the law of the market. Reality does not care about your emotions. Social media has completely distorted women's perception of reality. Every woman thinks she deserves a top 1% man because she matched with one on Tinder, who was probably married and using her for entertainment while his wife slept. She thinks that is her level. It is like winning 20 euros on a slot machine and calling yourself a professional gambler. The algorithm shows you what you want to see, not what is actually available. You want to know the saddest part. Most men are not demanding. You know what the average man wants. A woman who is pleasant to be around, who does not manufacture drama, faithful, who takes care of herself, and who genuinely appreciates him, not just what he provides. No model, no housekeeper, just a kind person who makes life better. But apparently that is too much to ask. The guilt-tripping tactics have spectacularly backfired. Call a man an incel because he has standards. He shrugs and goes back to his hobbies. Shame him for not approaching. He says, "Thanks for saving me from a harassment accusation." Tell him he is not a real man. He laughs and counts the money he is saving. Guilt-tripping no longer works because men realize that being alone is not the worst scenario. Being with someone who sees you as a walking ATM, who constantly compares you to men on Instagram, that is the worst scenario. I remember a wedding about 5 years ago that completely changed my perspective. A grand ceremony that probably cost 100,000 euros. The groom's face during the ceremony was not joy. It was resignation, like a prisoner of war signing a confession. His fiancée spent the entire reception complaining the flowers were wrong, the cake too plain, the DJ played the wrong song. She never once looked at him with love, never thanked him. 6 months later, divorce. She kept the ring and the Instagram photos. He kept the debt and the depression. And you wonder why men fear commitment. It is not commitment itself that scares us. It is the fear of committing to the wrong person, the one who will destroy your life and walk away with everything. What women do not understand about male solitude is this: it is no longer painful for most men. Why? Because we are problem solvers by nature. Lonely, get a dog. Infinitely more loyal than modern women. Need intimacy. There are solutions that do not disrespect you or demand your credit card. Need purpose. Build a career. Set goals. Create something that will not leave you for your best friend. Men have adapted to solitude the way humans adapted to cold climates. We turned solitude from a flaw into an asset. Meanwhile, I see women in their 30s having breakdowns because they are alone. Wine memes, cat photos, quotes about self-love that fool nobody, not even themselves. They believed the lie they could have everything whenever they wanted. Nobody told them that men would simply stop showing up, and that their window was limited. They thought they could party through their 20s, build a career through their 30s, then pick a husband like choosing a handbag. Surprise, the store is closed. The worst part is the impact on young men. I receive messages from 18-year-old guys who are already giving up. They have not even started, and they are already defeated. When they watch their older brother or father get destroyed in divorce court, when they see good men treated like ATM machines, why would they sign up for that? My advice to men is simple. Focus entirely on yourself. Build your wealth, your health, your happiness. If a woman adds genuine value to your life, wonderful. If not, you will have lost nothing and gained everything. But honestly, most will not listen. They never do until it is too late. Every year that passes, every birthday that flies by, your options shrink while ours expand. That is not revenge. That is simply reality. And reality, as they say, is relentless. I have told you what nobody dares to say. Now it is your turn to decide. If you think I am right, share this video. It needs to be seen by as many people as possible. Subscribe for more uncomfortable truths that nobody else has the courage to speak. And tell me in the comments, where do you stand in all of this? Are you one of the men who is already checked out? Or a woman who is finally starting to understand? The conversation starts now. Thank you for staying until the end. Thank you for allowing these words to enter your mind. This is not mere content. It is a conversation between two souls.